Am I the asshole for saying I expect my friend to pay back the full cost of my coat that she lost? My 18F friend, 18F, was in my dorm room because I was hosting our study group. Afterward, she was going to a party and was in a tiny dress, so she asked if she could borrow my coat since it's freezing out. I said sure, she can take the purple one on my bed. She told me the next day that she was sorry and she'd lost my coat at the party. And she hadn't taken the purple one. She had taken the black one on my bed since it looked warmer. The coat she lost was a Montclair, and I never would have let her take it. I told her she could take my purple coat, which is the coat I take to parties since I'm not worried about it getting lost or stolen. I'm really upset that she lost my coat, and I said she needs to pay me back the full cost of it. She said sure but didn't realize how much it is, and then she got upset saying she could never come up with the money. I said that's not my fault since she shouldn't have taken it, and she became hysterical when I said I want all the money paid back. Am I the asshole for saying she has to come up with the full cost of the coat and pay it back? Not the asshole. She purposely took the wrong coat and lost it. She is definitely responsible for replacing it. Did she go back to the place where the party was held to see if the coat was still there? Not the asshole. If she doesn't pay you back for it, then she stole it. Simple as that. Not the asshole. You gave her permission for the purple coat. It's her fault so she has to pay you back. People need to learn to ask for permission before taking people's things, it would avoid situations like this. She should have been better prepared, she caused all her issues. I would hold firm. Get it down in writing that she took your coat without permission. Not the asshole. You specified which one to take. She took another, lost it, and is unhappy it wasn't the same price as say the other one for example. Not the asshole she stole your coat and then lost it. She never gave her permission to take the other coat. I don't know what Montclair means but I'm going to assume it means expensive. It isn't your problem that she didn't know how expensive it was. She stole it and lost it. Unfortunately, you have a choice to make. Lose your friend or lose your money. It is her fault and she should be held accountable, but this is going to affect your friendship. You probably aren't going to have both things at the end of this. Not the asshole. She took something of yours and lost it. If you'd borrowed her iPhone or her laptop and lost it, she'd demand that you replace it. This is no different. You didn't even give her permission to take that jacket. She either realized it was more valuable and wanted to show off or she just wanted the one that better matched her dress. Either way, she's fully responsible for it. She needs to find a way to pay for it, even if it's in installments. Not the asshole op because your friend is a disrespectful idiot, but out of curiosity how much was the coat? Not the asshole. She knew what she was doing. She took the other coat because it looked better. And she recognized that she was in the wrong when she thought it was a cheap coat. She doesn't get to wave out just because she realized how dumb she was. Twice. Am I the asshole for leaving my mom's early when her whole family took Christmas photos? Me, 16M, and my mom don't have much a good relationship. They had a bad divorce after my mom left my dad for some guy when I was 7 and I only saw her once every 6 months cause she got married then buys with her new family. Since last year she wanted us to start talking more and seeing each other. And finally met my 2 half-brothers who are 6 and 4. Then her 2 other stepkids around same age as me. I'm only with her on weekends and last one they were doing Christmas photos they send to the family. And I mean her husband's family and also my mom's. So like my grandparents, my aunts, cousins etc. They had a photographer actually come. Everyone was dressed for it except me and she told me it just wouldn't make sense if I'm in it since the pics are also going to her husband's family side. But then I argued well our family's side is getting pics of his kids so why does it matter? Like she said she wanted me to be part of their family when I started staying over since last year but now they don't want me included in their family photo. My mom told me it's not a big deal and I just went upstairs while they did the thing. IDKY but it just made me really mad but also sad. I didn't want to stay there weekend so my dad came after sending him a TXT. My mom argued with him outside because it was only Friday. And I told her I didn't want to stay there if she doesn't want to include me in their family and I'd rather go be with my dad. My mom is still mad about it. She says she didn't mean to treat me that way but how I behaved after cutting out our time was mean and that hurt her feelings. And I'm the asshole for reacting that way basically. For me it still hurts so maybe that's why I don't see if I was wrong or not cutting off our weekend short. Am I the asshole? NTA. Your mother is a terrible parent. Not the asshole, but your mom certainly is. I don't blame you if you never want to go back. She's made it pretty clear who she thinks of as her family. Your mother doesn't get to choose when it's convenient to have a son. She either accepts you wholly into the family or not at all. You are not the asshole. Not the asshole. If she has the right to not want you in her photos, then I guess you have the right to not want to be in her house. She treated you like a second-class family member. So it shouldn't surprise her that you'd rather spend time with the parent who treats you like a valued family member. P.S. I'm sorry about your asshole mom. She sounds like a selfish jerk. I'm glad you have your dad. He sounds like a good man, driving to pick you up when you needed him without any hesitation, and then standing up for you when he got there. Tell him how much you appreciate him. Not the asshole, but sorry to say, your mother is a major one though. I call bullshit on her. You hurt my feelings, because I highly doubt she has any to hurt. I haven't always had a good relationship with my family. When my dad died, they did family photos without me and I was an adult. Your dad sounds a good guy. I'm sorry this happened. May I suggest having someone to talk to, as when you're older it's harder to faux that, but it helps. Your mom. Sorry, kid, family only in this photo. Also your mom. How could you hurt me so? We're FAAA Amelie. Not the asshole, and I hope you know that this incident says nothing about you and your worth, and everything about your mom's character. You are absolutely not the asshole. Not even a little bit. You left a situation you weren't comfortable in because your mother hurt you badly. What she did wasn't acceptable, and you made a valid point about his kids being in the pictures that go to your family so clearly. The receiving end of the pictures isn't a valid point. I am so sorry that you have to go through this. I could never imagine hurting my son that way. Please know that this has absolutely nothing to do with you and everything to do with who she is as a person. You deserve better. Would I be the asshole for writing a bad review on Google to prevent others from reliving trauma? I, 39F, am not a native speaker, so please have patience with my wording. Backstory. In 2017 I was pregnant with twins. I always wanted kids and we were over the moon. At 25 weeks it all went to hell, as I discovered a problem, went to the hospital and they found out that both kids had died in my womb. I was devastated. It took me a whole year to get normal again because I developed a severe depression, helped by the fact that there was a burnout waiting to happen before I got pregnant. Long story short, I was a mess, had to go to a clinic but learned to live with it. Now I am a happy mom of an adorable little girl, almost 2. A few weeks ago I had a doctor's appointment and she diagnosed a bursa inflammation in my left shoulder. She prescribed physiotherapy. I got an appointment right away, which is a small wonder of its own. The guy working on my shoulder was really nice and competent, asked about my job and stress level and said no wonder. The next week I had to cancel all appointments because our little one brought a highly infectious disease home. The one where you get spots at hand, feet and mouth. And the next appointment I got, the first guy was on vacation. I got to work with his boss, a woman in her 50s. She remembered me, because I had an appointment back in the day with my first pregnancy. She asked and I told her what happened. I was proud of me for talking about it calmly. She then asked for the reason and I told her, there is no 100% sure reason, but all OFT doctors agreed that there was a problem right at the beginning. She disagreed. She told me some esoteric stuff about how during a pregnancy souls have to manifest, and my children looked around and decided they didn't want to come to this world. I completely broke down crying. She basically told me that my kids didn't want to be my kids after looking at me and my surroundings. I had to work long and hard to accept that I wasn't at fault. And then she told me I wasn't over it because of my left shoulder being so bad and that east side where the heart resides. Of course I am not over it. You never get over something like that. You just learn to live with it. At home I broke down again, barely managed work the next day. The whole weekend I was in a deep depression, working to climb out by teeth and nails. On Monday I called her and asked if I could switch to her colleague again. She asked why and I told her very calmly that her words triggered a mental breakdown and I couldn't take it again. I didn't make any accusations. She said her coworker was on vacation and she would cancel all appointments and advised me to go to my doctor to get a new prescription. She didn't even apologize or offer to work on my shoulder without the talk. I got a new prescription but couldn't find a free therapist. Would I be the asshole if I wrote a review on Google to warn others in similar circumstances? Edit. She is the owner of her very small practice. Edit 2. I wrote to my insurance and asked whom to report her to. I will definitely write the review and report her as soon as I find out to whom. Edit 3. Wow. I can't keep up. Thank you for all your kind words and rage on my behalf. I am sorry I can't answer all of your comments, but I try reading most of them. I am devastated for the mothers and lost children who held out their hands to me to soothe my pain. We are parents. We love our lost ones. And no one can judge us or dictate how we feel. Thank you all for your comments and the awards. And now I will tend to the little sister who just tried to climb out her crib for the first time and bumped her head. She eased lying on top of me, fiddling with my necklace, eyes half closed. And that's the reason for everything. Not the asshole. What a horrible way to be treated. She absolutely deserves the worst reviews. I am so sorry that happened to you. Not the asshole. I'm so sorry you experienced something like this. Absolutely write the review in as many places as you can find. Her behavior was abhorrent and unprofessional. Not the asshole. Yeet her into the sun, if possible. Not the asshole. I'm sorry for that situation. A review on Google isn't going to do much though. A more constructive approach would be to report that nurse to the hospital for crossing a line with a patient. Her religious beliefs had no business being in your hospital room. By not doing so, she will be able to say such things to others without reprimand. Edit. I assumed nurse, but could well have been a doctor too. Either way, I stand by the above. Edit 2. Just saw she was the owner of the clinic. I would find a different place to have your PT. Also lodge a complaint with the medical board. What she did could cause her to lose her license, and the medical board should know. I am shocked some people think this is an okay thing to say. I would have probably been quite mean back. In case you need to hear this, she is wrong. It was not your fault. Miscarriages are quite common, no matter how perfect or ready you are. It's part of nature and it's not because you were lacking in any way or because they chose not to be with you. What a load of rubbish. That woman needs a psychiatrist. I'm sorry for your loss. Big time not the asshole. You should call the clinic owner or manager and make a complaint. Then tell them you want the first therapist. Is there a college or association for physiotherapist you can also send a complaint? She's full of BS. Your doctors are correct. Not the asshole. And what the actual fuck? I'm so damn enraged on your behalf. Please report her to the clinic or any other licensing board or whatever is about her. You deserve better. Hands clapping was. Hands clapping not. Hands clapping your. Hands clapping fault. Hands clapping. Not the asshole. She was nasty and inappropriate. Also possible trigger the belief about souls choosing. They are said to have chosen before the mother knows she's pregnant. It's the universe deciding that the souls aren't not ready for their next life that causes these things. At least that is the version I have come across. Am I the asshole for asking my sister where she got her babies from? Title is weird, but this situation is weird. My sister, 25, has struggled with infertility problems for years. She and her husband got married at 16 and have been trying since they were 18. Doctors have basically told her she will never have a baby. My sister is also extremely against infant adoption. Never even mention it to her, she'll rant about it and how it should be banned for hours. Her husband was adopted as an infant, so I guess it comes from that. They have tried IVF in the past, which hasn't worked. And while they aren't totally against surrogacy, they aren't fans and have stated multiple times they would never go that route. Anyway, 10 months ago my sister posted an Instagram post welcoming her daughter into the world. Of course we were all ecstatic initially. She was healthy, beautiful, and all round an amazing baby. For the first 3 months of her life no one really noticed anything odd. I think we all assumed my sister had just kept a pregnancy secret or something, because she breastfeeds. We weren't aware you could lactate without giving birth. Then she started coming into her features. Baby is very clearly ethically something else. Facial features and even skin tone match neither of her parents. We are Mexican, and her husband is Ashkenazi. Still, we didn't say anything, because genetics can be weird. Assumed maybe she'd adopted and didn't want to go back on her previous statements. Except 4 months ago it happened again. This time welcoming their son into the world. But she also added on, that she herself, was in her second trimester of pregnancy with their third, her first successful pregnancy. So, this is getting weird. A cousin asked if they had finally adopted, at which point my sister got upset and reiterated that they would never. At this point I'm really suspicious. So, finally, last week I asked her where the hell her other 2 kids are from. They clearly aren't hers. Son could maybe pass off, because he looks like her husband, and if she's still spewing bullshit about adoption being trauma. How the hell did she get them? She got really upset, her husband got pretty angry and they got up and left. My entire family is more or less backing me because we are really concerned about where the hell these kids are from. She has seemingly blocked most of us on the socials where she posts about her kids, and a few mutual friends, and really angry over it, asking why I have to push, and why I can't just be happy for her. It's sort of put us in a bind. I'm concerned about the kids, but I also want to be in my sister's life. I don't feel like my ask was too out of the ordinary considering how strange the situation is. IDK. Am I the asshole? ETA. My sister has seen this post, unblocked me, and messaged me. She's going to call me later to explain. I'll update this post later if I get any answers. If not, I probably will go ahead with contacting the authorities. Not the asshole. WTF. Where did they get these kids? Did they steal them? Not to be dramatic, but if they don't have logical answers, call the cops. If they haven't adopted, then there's only one way people end up with kids that aren't biologically theirs, and it's extremely illegal. Not the asshole. If they aren't hers and she didn't adopt them, she might have kidnapped them. It does happen. If she did adopt them and badmouths other people who adopt, then she's not going to be a good parent. What if it's worse than adopting? What if it's baby child trafficking? I mean, come on. Does your sister really think your family is this stupid? Of course, you will have questions, and of course, those kids will have questions someday as well. They especially will have a right to answers. Not the asshole babies randomly appearing is suspicious. Of course you are going to have questions, who wouldn't? Not the asshole. Her behavior is very, very concerning. If these kids aren't adopted, if they aren't fostered, if they aren't hers biologically, then where the hell did they come from? At what point are you going to contact CPS and the police? Not the asshole. This whole situation is really strange. It's not illegal to change your views about something, like adoption, IVF. People learn throughout their lives. She may have adopted the kids and not want to admit it, so that you don't call her a hypocrite. Please don't. Or she got them in an illegal way, and doesn't want you to know. NTA. The fact that they're so defensive about it also raises a lot of red flags. Either they're too prideful to admit they adopted, or there is some shady stuff going on. No harm in asking. Why the secrecy? Maybe surrogacy? Just their reactions would get my heckles up.